All right, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachakodash, the honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right, and I just wanted to jump in on a topic because it's very important, that we do these lessons, we do these videos, because ultimately, people do watch them, even if it's not instant, you don't get instant gratification, but sometimes it's delayed. But they have to hear and understand, the scriptures being played out and how it applies to real life. All right, and that's something that I noticed with Jake. We have to have a real world application of how things work in order for us to really understand something. And that's why, brothers, I notice brothers tend to cover a lot of politics. And here's the definition for politics, because in this world, it's backwards. So-called church and state are separate, and then it's taboo to talk about religion. It's taboo to talk about politics, which what we're doing is not a religion, but nevertheless, we get on topics that people consider to be religious topics, but really they're just principles and facts of life. And this is the etymology on politics. It says the science of government from the 1520s, from the science of government. And science, we know, of course, is a knowledge modeled on Aristotle, which Aristotle, he studied from Jake. Aristotle's Ta Politica, Affairs of State. Exactly, the name of his book on governing and governments. And one thing about it is that's exactly what the prophets of old always did. They talk everything pertaining to the Bible, pertaining to Israel. That's all you hear: Israel, 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 Judah, Israel. Is pertaining to the affairs of our state, whether we be in good fortune, whether the Most High put curses on us, have us in bad standing, whether people are going off, and the Most High brings punishment on all of us. These are all part of the politics. These are all part of the affairs of the state. Right? And just to prove that, this is 1 Samuel 16:1. And this is when Samuel was doing the selection process for the next king of Israel after Saul. It said, and the Lord said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the Lord said, take a heifer with thee and say, I am come to sacrifice to the Lord. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do. And thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably? Yeah, so that tension and that pressure was always there when somebody came who they knew was a spokesman for Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and going back to this article that I had pulled up, because you got Jake Byron Allen, and his company owns the Weather Channel, and even top Jakes who are making millions of dollars, they're seeing the games and the bullshit and the roadblocks and the glass ceilings that Esau has set up for us. So and our people still aren't seeing it. I'm gonna read this article. Yeah, because I was saying even the elders of the town, they trembled because they didn't know. Was he coming to condemn somebody? Was he coming to tell somebody they were gonna die because they committed an offense to the Most High? You never know what was gonna happen. All right, and Jake they don't see it, man. They don't see that this place is completely, through and finished. It says a U.S. congressman is calling for, in all these articles we bring out, they're pretty much they're cracks in Esau's armor. All right, we're making bare the leg, we're exposing the thigh of what this devil is doing. We're lifting his skirt. It says the U.S. congressman is calling for Comcast Corp to be broken up days before the cable giant is set to face off against Byron Allen, an African-American Hollywood entertainment mogul, in a Supreme Court case that some say could make it harder to bring racial discrimination lawsuits. Basically, in the letter, Representative Bobby Rush, Democrat Illinois, told Comcast CEO Brian Roberts that he is dismayed that the company might undercut the country's oldest civil rights law, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which basically says that companies cannot, they can't discriminate against you if you're another race or something from doing business, but they do that shit anyway, and they hide it under the rug. All right, because they don't have to tell you if they're discriminating against you. It's just something that's implied by you not being able to go to a certain level. And this is what Jake is not. Many Jakes do understand it, but this is what a lot of Jakes don't understand about how this game works, how this slavery works. It says Rush is the member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. A Comcast spokesperson said Friday that Rush has no power to break up Comcast. Rush claimed that Comcast had failed to live up to its promises at the time of acquiring NBC Universal of making its programming more inclusive. Those promises, critical in getting influential minority groups in Washington to support the merger, were merely for political expediency, Rush contended. Comcast has enjoyed the largest, as has the cable industry in general, of the African American and other minority communities, and has reached such prominence that it has now disregarded these communities with a cold, callous corporate insensitivity that is stultifying, arrogant, harmful, and intensely painful. Yeah, well, that's for everything, but basically they're bringing it out how these companies, they don't do a shit for Jake, and Jake is paying the highest bill possible, because when you deal with these companies and then they try to charge you all this money, and then eventually you tell them, look, you can cancel the fucking service, that's it. Then they knock $50 off of your monthly price, then you're good. Then in a couple months you might call back and threaten to cancel again and try to get some more knocked off. Esau, he ain't doing that. He ain't doing that shit. It says, at the heart of the dispute in a 2015 lawsuit in which Allen sued Comcast for $20 billion, alleging that the cable company discriminated against him based on race when it refused to carry his channels. So, even in it, like I said, it's going to go on to tell you that his entertainment studio had bought the Weather Channel, which Comcast does carry. And of course, they're going to say that, no, we didn't discriminate against him because he's African American. He's going to say, yeah, they did. But really, you really can't prove that. They can always come up with some reason why they don't have to do business with you. And it says, I'm gonna make it quick too. It says Allen cited Section 1981 of the 1866 law, first enacted to provide basic contract rights to newly emancipated Black Americans after slavery ended, as a basis for his suit. That section says that all people in the United States have the same rights to engage in contracts. Excuse me. We are not seeking to roll back any civil rights laws. All we are asking is that Section 1981 in our case be interpreted the same way as it's been interpreted for decades across the country. And when you deal with these different laws that Esau has set up, they make it so hard that even if you know that they're not promoting you, they're not treating you fairly, they're not paying you what they're paying, Edomites, even if they tell you it's 99% that you're African American, but it's 1% that we just don't like you or something like that. Well, it has to be 100%. It has to be verifiable that that was the reason why they fired you or they discriminated against you. So it's a lot of gray area, just like the rest of Esau's law. All right, and prophecy. This is why the law was never done away with. This is why, because the one of the arguments that these Christians and so-called apologists come with is that the law was done away with, which law was never done away with, was just under grace. But what they'll do is they try to prophesy. They want to teach the people. They want to do all the things that the prophets did. They want offering. They'll give you their Cash App. They'll give you their PayPal. They want you to send the money for the research you do. So they want the office, but they don't want any of the other laws, and that's part of the office. This is Deuteronomy 18-17. And the Most High said, and the Most High said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall not presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And there have been many prophets or many people who, they want to say things before they happen. They want to, tell our people and lead our people in the wrong direction. I have dreamed a dream, and all of them. That's exactly what happens. They die. They confuse people. They destroy, the direction of our nation, and then they die off. It said, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Most High have not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Most High, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Most High have not spoken. But the prophet have spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. Exactly. So if what the person is saying has not passed or it has not happened, that's how you know that they're lying and they're not a prophet. All right. And when you look at our elders and our apostles and all of the men of the Lord who prophesy, everything that we're saying is either happening now or it's about to happen. All right. And the big one is the chip, is the market, so-called mark of the beast, the chip. All right. More affairs of the nation, affairs of the, affairs of the state, science of government. What is the direction? And this is what's going on with our people on all levels. They're trying to play the system. They're trying to, use Esau's law against him. They're trying to work within, the politics of his system. His system is completely dirty and corrupt. All right. Esau has what's called lobbying, where people can go, they can talk to state representatives, senators, whoever, and they can pay them a certain amount of money to push certain laws and certain things so they can create certain agendas. All right, so this place is completely corrupt and it's influenced by money. The love of money is the root of all evil. This is Isaiah 9-7, and there are amendments to the U.S. law. They had to change things. They had to upgrade things. They had to add things, including the right to vote for us, for the Israelites, so-called Black, Native American, Latino people. This is Isaiah 9-7. It says, of the increase of his government and peace shall there be no end upon the throne of David. Matter of fact, let's jump back. So like it. All right, because this is what's going to happen. This is more prophecy. This is what's going to happen in the state of affairs for our nation. This is what we're looking for, ultimately. Not looking for a couple of dollars, a couple of little trinkets, little nigger trinkets. This is Isaiah 9:3. He said, "Thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy." Matter of fact, let's start at verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, or the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth ever, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Exactly. And at this point, David had already went into the spiritual realm. So this means that what? David is going to have to come back again. And at no point did Israel ever rule forever. So we know this is talking about the future. And that's exactly what the Lord is setting up through us, man. Us as the government of the real government of Israel. I'll put it like that. All right, the so-called Black, Native American, Latino, starting with men. We're the government. We're that government. So, hey, this is just the foundations of the thing that this scripture is talking about. And we're looking at the close out of this kingdom and this society. There's no trust, there's no value. The shit is so wicked that now everybody's quick to go to court over everything. They want to go to court because they know Esau's corrupt. So they want to run into that courtroom. They want to put charges up. They want to sue for this, sue for that, because this place is so out of order. It's so wicked. So they want to run in front of them judges and try to influence them so they can get a couple of dollars off. Just like also with that Botham Jean trial, where the guy got his family a certain amount of money, so they had to, they started cooning it out. All right, so this kingdom is out of order. The law that's been influences that influences it is out of order. Native American, Latino, and so-called Black, the leadership of them is out of order. The state of affairs for them is out of order. And this is what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the throne. We're waiting on the increase. We're waiting on judgment and justice from henceforth, even forever. Call Allah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Lord willing is edifying for you. Shalom.